My life is perfect. Seriously, perfect. Just check my Instagram. Look how good my life looks. I'm 22, running a few businesses, making good money, driving fast cars, hanging out with cool people. What more could I ask for? I'm literally doing what I want, when I want, wherever I want. I've actually just spent the last 5 weeks in Portugal, living by the beach, soaking in the sun, just because I can. All I see is success. Why? Because I'm a young entrepreneur who's escaped the system and can live this good life on my own terms. But have you stopped to think, is it really as good as it looks on social media? Is this guy's life and countless other young entrepreneurs' lives too good to be true? Is it all a marketing ploy and a facade portraying a certain image online? In the recent times, and especially with the rise of short-form content, more and more you're seeing entrepreneurs portraying their lives online. Podcast clips talk about how easy it is to make millions when you're young and how good life is outside of the system. Making entrepreneurship look so hip and cool, and as if all these young guys have this perfect life on the other side. But as a matter of fact, I don't feel cool as it may look. Most of the time, I actually feel very out of place. I feel extremely lonely, I worry all the time, and I stress about money on a daily basis. And this is not what I was expecting when I got into this game of entrepreneurship. You see, 13-year-old me, who fell upon entrepreneurship by accident, could not have expected or fathomed any of the things that have come on this journey. I was just a gamer kid, trying to be a YouTuber. And by chance, I fell upon a business model for my YouTube content. So, I did the complete opposite of what most 13-year-olds would do, and I spent all my teen years trying to learn how to make money online and build a business. And for me, this was an extremely lonely journey. I didn't have anyone that I could turn to for help or advice. I didn't know any other young entrepreneurs, and no sane person my age was looking into this. I was just this lone teenager trying to navigate this alternate path. And I was also hiding absolutely everything I was doing. I was trying not to be that weird kid who was deviating from the status quo, who would get picked on. I felt as if I couldn't tell my friends and family what I was doing, out of fear that they wouldn't believe in me and didn't think it was going to amount to anything. So, I eventually gave up at the age of 16. I had this idea of what an entrepreneur was after seeing these big business owners with their levels of wealth, status, fortune, and I'd been on this constant pursuit for that same success, and I just couldn't quite get there. I just couldn't quite make it. So I just started focusing on school and picked up a job in the YouTube space online. I'd found my rhythm again. Things were going great, life was good, I was studying towards my hires, and I joined this amazing team with people working towards a common goal. But that's when my life turned upside down. I remember this story vividly. I was in the car in 2017, New Year's Eve, with my parents, and I scratched my neck, and I felt a lump formed in the left-hand side of my neck. I brushed it off as if it was nothing, because I'd had something like this when I was younger, and it turned out to be nothing. But during January, this lump just kept on growing and growing. More lumps and glands formed in my neck, so clearly something was wrong. After consulting my parents, who are both doctors, they quickly got me seen. These specialists didn't know what was up, so I went through a series of tests. Unfortunately, after a series of tests, I was called to the Beatson Cancer Centre and given the news that I was being diagnosed with stage 2A Hodgkin's lymphoma, a type of cancer. Now, this was really rough news to receive. It was an extremely vulnerable time in my life. All I could think was, why me? Why, of all people in this world, am I to be diagnosed with cancer? I was 16 years old, only 16. Didn't do anything that could cause cancer. I was just in so much shock, so much disbelief. You see a lot of talk and hear a lot of things about what cancer is like and what the process is, but I realized that during that process, you can truly not understand something until you experience it yourself. And I can say it's possibly one of the worst experiences I wouldn't wish upon anyone, especially not for a 16-year-old with a lot of life to live. I didn't know what I was in for. I went through 6 months of chemotherapy in 2018, and chemo really messes your body up. Essentially, it kills everything inside of you, good and bad, and the idea is the good is meant to regenerate and the bad goes away. I was constantly floored by chemo and just feeling terrible. But I just had to accept that this was my life for 6+ months and there's nothing I could do about it. Cancer changed me. It's definitely the first of 2 life-altering experiences that I've had as a man in my life so far. As I mentioned earlier, I was on this constant pursuit for success. I wanted to be successful, have this lifestyle, wealth, and leave this legacy like these other entrepreneurs. And cancer allowed me to have a shift in my mindset and perspective in life. I had a cancer that was an 85% chance of curing first time, so the odds were in my favor. But there was always that voice in the back of my head saying, Suhit, what if you're that 15%? What if you're not going to be alive in a year's time? So I knew that I had to do something right now. I had to take action in my life right away. There was no time to waste. And that shift put me back on the entrepreneurial path that I had previously given up on. I quit the job that I had, and I started my current business today, Solderson. I embarked once again on this lonely road of entrepreneurship. But this time, I had so much worse going on in my life that it wasn't as much of a burden to me, because I was just so focused on achieving the success that I wanted and to leave this legacy. It was also rather therapeutic to me this time, because it almost made me forget the situation I was in. I was so invested in building this thing that I forgot I was a cancer patient and having chemo. Luckily, I had a good response to the cancer first time, and I was put in remission. And during this time, I achieved a bit of success in my influencer marketing agency. I'd finally done it. Now, I've been running this business for nearly 5 years, and in that time, I've achieved some sort of relative success. And this has come with a lot of positives that have allowed me to have that freedom and lifestyle that I mentioned to you guys earlier. But this has not come without a whole host of trauma and emotional baggage that I and many other young entrepreneurs have had to incur in our journeys. The things that you won't see from all the glamorized social media content. They say success is bottomless and immensely fun, but as a matter of fact, I spend the majority of my time glued to a computer screen. Instead of working 9 to 5, I'm working constantly. It's non-stop, 24/7. When you have a business, you're completely accountable and responsible for that. I struggle to switch off. I struggle to be in the present moment because I'm constantly thinking about what's going on in the market, what's going on with my business, am I going to hit my results, why are these things not being generated? I've had sleepless nights, unmet financial obligations, unimaginable deadlines, busy weekends. But these are all things that are part of the entrepreneur's itinerary for success. I and many other young entrepreneurs have a huge amount of responsibility and liability that I've had to bear that you wouldn't expect a standard 22-year-old to face. I'm not only responsible for my own life, but the lives of many other people around me. I have family members that I contribute to. I have staff members that rely on me for a wage every single month so that they can survive and meet their living expenses. And that is an extremely scary and mentally taxing responsibility to bear. Because if I mess up, it doesn't just affect me. I put other people's livelihoods at risk. Additionally, 72% of business owners in the UK operate a business without employing anyone. That is nearly 3/4 of all the entrepreneurs in the UK are a one-man band, working with nobody but themselves. So it's safe to say that it's a very lonesome journey for nearly 4 million entrepreneurs in the UK. But I've spoken to hundreds of entrepreneurs, and whether that's those just starting out with absolutely nothing, or those with thousands of employees generating multi-millions, the resounding feeling is how tough and lonely the journey is. But we feel like we can't open up and talk about our problems, because there's this culture that success sells and failure doesn't, so we all just put on a brave face and live with the trauma that we have in our lives. And what makes it even tougher is when everyone online looks like they're constantly winning. You see these guys starting 8 businesses, generating tens of millions, and doing it all in about 7 hours. Of course you wouldn't want to open up and be vulnerable. But what's even scarier is that a statistic from Forbes suggests that 90% of startups end up failing. That is 9 out of every 10 person who starts a business will fail. When Elon Musk, arguably the biggest entrepreneur of the current day, said, "Running a startup is like chewing glass and staring into the abyss. After a while, you stop staring, but the glass chewing never ends." He wasn't joking. Entrepreneurship is an emotional and intimate roller coaster filled with many ups and downs. In fact, there's a passing joke among entrepreneurs that loosely translates to, business life is so unpredictable that tonight you could be dining like a Saudi prince, and tomorrow you don't know where your next meal is coming from. You don't have that same stability that you have in a traditional path. Every month you know you're getting X paycheck. With entrepreneurship, there's far more uncertainty. And this uncertainty of this emotional roller coaster has been known to push many entrepreneurs off the edge. It's interesting to know that entrepreneurs are much more likely than the general population to experience depression. A statistic from the University of California suggests that entrepreneurs are 30% more likely to experience depression than members of the general population. But without fail, when anyone asks me how things are going on, I smile and tell them everything is perfect. And what I really wish I had the courage to say was, this is the toughest thing I've ever done in my life. Every day is a constant struggle to keep my businesses afloat and maintain this facade of the perfect life of an entrepreneur. But that won't stop me. And it doesn't stop so many other entrepreneurs. Despite these heightened negatives, so many entrepreneurs are still popping up all the time. And many are continuing down this path. And I think this calls under a few reasons. Firstly, over the last few years, we've seen the rise of the celebrity entrepreneur. Those that are idolized have this power, status, fame, success. These are your Stephen Bartletts, your Ben Francises, your Elon Musks. They're seen as superstars nowadays, whereas traditionally that was only held for your athletes, artists, and actors. The majority of humans have this want and desire to be known and recognized, and becoming an entrepreneur now allows you to feed into that need to be idolized, famous, and rich. But I think there's more to it than just this. I truly believe that every single person in this world has a purpose and a quest that they need to fulfill. Whether they know what it is or not, they have this sense of purpose. Each of you individually, think to yourself for a second, what is your purpose? What were you put on this earth to do, and what are you destined to do? For me, since I got ill, my purpose has been to use my story to inspire others to take action in their lives and follow their dreams, whether that's through entrepreneurship or another discipline. I think it's a good use of my experience and very fulfilling to me. But I don't think I could do this had I gone down a traditional path. You see, if I'd been through what I've been through and went down a traditional path, it's not as exciting or inspiring, is it? There's not really any rags to riches story. And that's the same for so many entrepreneurs who have this longing to complete their mission, and they use entrepreneurship as a vehicle to do that. Entrepreneurship comes with a huge amount of exciting opportunities and allows you to completely shape your reality. And many people believe that entrepreneurship is the only way they can achieve this freedom and adventure to pursue their purpose. So, the beautiful path of entrepreneurship. The path that allows you to completely create your own reality. The path that allows you to build something you're passionate about. The path that allows you to build something that serves you, but not someone else. The path that allows for unlimited time, location, financial freedom. The path that allows you to achieve your self-fulfilling purpose. But this path does not come without its own problems and traumas that you will face on the way. But you need to embrace them. Embrace the traumas and problems that come in your life. Why? Because nothing in this world that has value to it or is desirable comes easily and without struggle. Otherwise, it wouldn't be valuable. And if you're going down an entrepreneurial path, or even just scrolling social media and seeing all these young guys flexing their perfect lives, and start comparing yourself to them, thinking, why don't I have this life? Why is this not me? Why can't I be like that? Just remember, not as all as it seems. Each one of these young entrepreneurs is fighting their own battles. It's an unseen truth. Thank you.